Sorry, I forgot to record it. Probably just I need to set on auto enabled next time onwards. Okay. You clear, right? So access specifier is like in a public is able to access everywhere, including the world. The second highest priority is for protected is okay only to these classes, but cannot be accessed outside the world. Because of this, protected can be accessed within these three elements. So default is only within the first two, not the subclasses. Then obviously, we can't access outside, and private is only within the class, nowhere outside of the class. So the obviously all are no. So this is important. Just you can remember how the public, protected, and default, private works. Yeah, I think protected example just now I have given it, so you can also practice this too. Yeah, real-time scenario I mentioned, right? Banking applications where we need to have a bank account particularly. So if we want to use any kind of a method, it can be used within the same class of, parent class of the methods, not the outside of. I think package already explained. This is one of the example. In a math utils, you can take the class, just you can create the particular class within the package, so that it will be a this will under one package. Okay, and a few more keywords I would like to cover as we have a little time now. Um, there are certain keywords like static, final. Okay, we have another few other keywords like which we can discuss about, like synchronize, okay, transient and volatile. That we'll discuss like later pointed. But yeah, as you need to understand as part of the fundamentally static and final. Okay, and there are like void also we do have a particular return type. So here just example we can say at this moment, right, like we can say static and non-static, we do have a different methods are variables. Okay, so any methods are something like, for example, access specifier, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, what I do is here you see that access specifier demo, and I'll take class here. Now I'll mention one method called static method. Generally, if you want to, my normal method is public void uh, static method. Static method. Okay. Okay. So when you say void or anything like return types, always return types, just I gave like intentionally to show you that like if you make it void here, what is saying? So set the method return type void. Because even though if we give that like static, right, the method says that like compiler saying that like there is no return type. It's expecting every method expecting particular any of the return type. If you don't return any type, at least we need to define void. But actually void we have it, but in between I put the static, right? So it's not recognized as a return type. So what I need to do is, right. Now the static method is able to understand, yes, I don't have any return type, but at least so that like this is understanding as a void. If we have any return type, we need to return something. For example, um, string, right? Any type, data type. I mentioned the other day, different data types you do have, right? Static, string, object, int, okay, float, double, boolean. We need to return. But here, as this is not a void, right? So its method is expecting to return something. So is asking something, adding return statement. You see this return name. Okay, I can say. Okay, it's a static method. Clear? So I mentioned as it's a static method, and what you call I added here name here, then like printed. So let's say this is static method. Where is this is in a dog class, right? I'll try to use here dog. So how many ways to use the static method is just we see that, and we created already dog method, right? Where is this Accespecifier? Yeah, I'm coming here. Where is the dog? You see it here. Dog method, new dog, dog sound, dog specific. What I do is dog dot name animal specific, and just see static method. Okay. Yeah, it's giving some warning, but yeah, I'll tell you that. Okay. Now, if you run this one, it works fine, right? You see that like, static method. I'll say dogs. Okay, it's a static method. I'm not printing that value, right? Okay. Yeah, it's a static method. What I do is, okay, I'm taking the return type, right? As a return type, I can use this value here because I'm not printing. One thing. I'll make it. I mean, you know how to get this value. If it's a string, you need to get the print value here. To avoid this now, just I put it here wide, and so that I no need to return the return type. Yes, I can mention it. So dog specific static type. Okay. Now what I do here, come here, run this now. Okay. See, it's a dog static method. See, then what is the use of the static is actually it is object is not required to call it. So what I do is without this as well, I don't create any object. Okay. You see this now? So we don't need to make like this. So just I'll comment entire section now. You see this now? I don't do it any kind of an object creation, right? Simply I called static method with class name. See, happily got created. Okay, clear? So do you have anything here in this? then also. You see? So we can call n number of times. So simply what we need to do is class name. So the direct class name we can call the static method. Same as the fields also we can make it. So we no need to create any object for that, because the static is very much useful in going forward, probably like in real-time projects, right? If you want to make it utility something, okay, convert this number and add these two fields. So you don't need to know about much of the background of the particular fields, right? So the time we can create some kind of utilities. So util methods we can say the time, like in most of the classes we can most of the methods and those classes are called static. Okay, so the static can be used at the class level, okay, and at method level and the field level as well. Okay, just you can practice at the class level how it is using, and I'm explaining you here at this moment. Just you try it out and let me know if you have any clarifications required, or like if you need any further discussions on that part. Okay, so this is the most use of the static methods. Everywhere we can use this. Probably I'll tell you like how this static method and memory installation are something in the when you have a JVM architecture. But this moment, like you remember that all the static methods can be called with class name by its class name. You don't need to create any object on that. Okay, and okay, and one more thing is like as static and non-static context, you can say. So this is called static method and non-static method. So if you want to call any non-static method, we need to create an object. For example, all other do specific. For example, do specific is not a static method, right? What I do is, so probably just we are trying to create a class name. This is dog is a reference is object reference value, but I can say if I try to call this method, is it allowed? What is saying? See, read it. Cannot make a static reference to the non-static method do specific from, because this is not a static method. Static method only accessible via class name. So if you want to make this, what we need to do that we need to non-static methods. We need to create an object for this. Now, what I need to do is I need to create an object for this. Now you see, you able to create an object for dog. Right? You sit here. Okay, dog specific method here. So this is the way of static and non-static. Okay, and one more thing is final as well. So final is a keyword where we cannot modify it. Okay, it can be class,